Hi guys, Ronald here, back again for another video on the channel. On this one today then, we will be doing the latest championship relegation odds according to the bookies. The bookies' favourites then to be relegated from the championship season. I did this last season around about this time and the video did extremely well, so fingers crossed this one does well as well. I know a lot of people like myself like to put a few bets on now and again, especially for the championship season, predicting who will get relegated and promoted, because the odds are quite good and it's sometimes worth a punt. So these are the bookies' favourites at the moment to get relegated. Now I'm going to do 24th to 1st. 24th is obviously going to be the least likely to be relegated according to the bookies, and then top is most likely to be relegated from the bookies. I'll just give a short analysis of my point of view. Do I agree or disagree with the bookies? I'm not going to go too in depth for this, as I want to do my own championship tier prediction video where I will predict who will get relegated, promoted and stuff like that, and obviously I will be able to give a lot more in-depth detail like I usually do. But anyway, the bookies then, in 24th place, the least likely to get relegated according to them are Leeds United with odds of 6 to 1. Now, yeah, I agree with this. Leeds are probably not going to get relegated. Their squad is absolutely ridiculous at this level. Obviously, they have lost Archie Gray. Glenn Kamara is going to France as well, so they are losing a bit of quality. But again, with the money they'll be bringing in, they also will bring in quality as well. In 23rd then, second least likely to get relegated, we have Burnley. So no surprise, the first of the big boys are in the bottom. 33 to 1 to get relegated, so a lot shorter odds than Leeds United. But again, Burnley, like I said, with Scott Parker at the helm this season, he has got a very, very good record. Again, teams promoted, so it'll be very interesting to see where they are in the promotion odds. But yeah, Parker at Burnley, I think it's a safe choice. Look, they'll be nowhere near the bottom. In my opinion, they'll be definitely pushing for top 6. Obviously, they won the championship last time they were in the division. So, yeah, I think Burnley, will have a good season. In 22nd, then, third least likely to get relegated. I'm not going to do it for every single one. 4th, 5th, 6th least likely. But this is the top 3, essentially, who aren't going to go down. Middlesbrough, 25 to 1. Now, I'm very surprised Middlesbrough are this low, to be honest, to get relegated. I understand, they haven't really been in the relegation zone. They were, creaking last season. They didn't have a great season, but obviously pushed on towards the end. But yeah, Middlesbrough, very highly rated on Michael Carrick. He is in his second full season now in charge of Borough. Has done a decent job. Obviously, they did lose a lot of quality of loanees last season. Hence why they didn't have such a good season. But again, with Michael Carrick at the helm, he is proven he is a decent manager at this level. It would be very interesting to see if they can push on this season. 21st then, Luton Town, the second of the recent relegated Premier League sides. Now Luton, of course, their rise from National League to the Premier League it's simply remarkable in the time frame they've done it. They are back in the Championship, so they'll be looking to go straight back up to the Premier League. Obviously, they do have a very, very good squad, especially EFL experience, Carlton Morris, Coley Woodrow, a lot more players like that. So yeah, they're very experienced at this level, so you'd assume they'd have a good season and wouldn't be, trying to get back-to-back relegations. 20th then, Coventry City. Coventry had a very, very good season last year. Just unfortunate that they failed to get playoffs in the end. Obviously, did get to the FA Cup semi-final where they were 3-0 down to Manchester United. Got it back to 3-3. Should have probably won it in the end. That had you right disallowed goal. And obviously, unfortunately for them, lost on penalties. But yeah, Mark Robin, sensational job. I think he is now the longest running manager in the EFL. So fair play to Coventry, and fair play to him as well, because he did stick through Coventry through the tough periods as well, where they had to ground share at Northampton. Also, he had to ground share at Birmingham City as well. So yeah, he's done a tremendous job at Coventry, and it was great to see them being this low in terms of potentially getting relegated. It's fantastic to see, and I assume they'll have another good season as well. 19th then, West Bromwich Albion, 16 to 1. We've got a few teams with odds of 16 to 1, and the only reason why they're not tied is just because of the promotion odds, just giving them a little bit of a better chance not to get relegated. But yeah, West Brom 19th then, 16 to 1, like I just said, got to the playoff semi-finals last season. Unfortunately for them, didn't get to the final and play against to play with a chance to get to the Premier League. But Carlos Corberán, did a very, very good squad. Had a very, very good squad last season. Did a very, very good job as well. Obviously, he has a few players returning from loans like Carl Grant. It'd be interesting to see how he does this season. Had a very good season at Cardiff last season. So yeah, he cost West Brom a lot of money. Hasn't really shown in a West Brom shirt, but Carlos Corberán has the potential to get the best out of anyone. So yeah, there won't be anywhere near relegation this season with him at the helm. 18th then, the last Premier League side, and the most likely Premier League side to get relegated from the Championship this season, Sheffield United, 16-1. Now, Sheffield United, like I said, are starting on minus points this season, so they are bottom of the league as it stands. Of course, that means nothing with 46 games yet to be played. But Sheffield United, like I said, are in a bit of financial problems, are having a potential takeover as well. So fingers crossed for them that does go through, because they're a fantastic club and they deserve, very, very good players indeed. Obviously, Chris Wilder back at Sheffield United, got returned to them last season in the Premier League. It was a surprise appointment, to be honest. No, he bleeds Sheffield United, but when they did sack him a few years ago, I thought that would be the last we see of him at Bramall Lane, but obviously not. Will try and get the best out of their team, but I do agree with this with the Buckies. I think out of all recently relegated Premier League, I think Sheffield United have the most chance to finish lower than the rest. 17th then, Norwich City, 16-1. And I'm quite surprised Norwich are this low, to be honest, because they are a good team, and we saw that under David Wagner last season. There was a bit of inconsistency, but especially towards the end of last season, beating their rivals at Ipswich Town and Carrow Road, they really showed a bit of consistency. And like I said, against Leeds United, they just got outclassed in the playoffs. But in the first leg, they were quite competitive and did hold them to a 0-0 draw. But yeah, Norwich will be looking to do similar this season. It all depends if they can keep Nunes and Sarah, because they are the key players in that middle of the pack. Sarah is an absolutely outrageous footballer as well. Really showed it last season how good he can be at this level. 16th now, Sheffield Wednesday, 9-1 to be relegated. I think this is very good odds. If you want to chuck a 10 on this, £90 back, I think this is a very, very short odds. I think Sheffield Wednesday should be, a lot higher than, 16th to get relegated. I think, look, they just survived last season. I know Danny Roll's a terrific manager. They are making a lot of signings now. Sometimes when you make so many signings, it does kind of harm the team atmosphere. Now, like I said, it all depends if he stays at the end. There's only two places between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday. United are 18th, Wednesday 16th. So the Buckies, they kind of keep them the same. I don't know, it's a very, very weird one, because like I said, look, I know they stayed up last season. Danny Roll's a terrific manager, but it can always change. Danny Roll could leave mid-season, so it's a weird one, because we know how inconsistent Chansiri can be. He's a very, very chaotic chairman. 15th then, newly promoted Portsmouth. Now, above mid-table, Buckies don't think they're going to go down. Odds of 9-1 as well. Had a very, very good season at League One last season. Obviously won the title. Fantastic for Pompey. Be back at Championship level. Just a shame Southampton got promoted, really, because I really like the Portsmouth-Southampton derby. Obviously, it hasn't been played too many times over the last years, but, that is a fantastic derby. And yeah, Portsmouth, I don't think they'll go down, to be honest with you. So I agree with the Buckies here. Their home form will be very, very vital to see how well they do this season. Have made some smart additions as well. So yeah, like I said, great to see Portsmouth back in the league, and fingers crossed they do well this season. 14th then, Hull City, 9-1 to get relegated. Hull have been very, very good over the last couple of years. The new chairman, the new owners who have come in, fantastic. They've invested heavily into that Hull squad. They have lost Jaden Philogene to Aston Villa, who has returned there for 13 million. They also have lost Jacob Greaves as well. Obviously, Liam Delap won't be returned to Hull either. He has gone to Ipswich Town on a permanent deal. So they have lost a lot of quality, but they will bring in quality as well. So yeah, I probably agree with this one as well. 13th, Stoke, 9-1. Again, similar to Sheffield Wednesday. Stoke haven't been great for a number of years now, and, how many times can you survive your luck in the Championship? We saw it at Birmingham, just inconsistent, poor, but always survive. Stoke have been that for a number of years now, and, is it their time to go down, Stoke? Obviously, came down from the Premier League with Swansea as well. Swansea have done a little bit better than Stoke over the last couple of years, but Stoke have spent a lot more money. It's just never really worked out for any managers at Stoke either. So, yeah, Stoke, again, I'd probably fancy a cheeky tenner at this. Bottom three, Stoke. Again, attendance is dropping there. Teams are getting worse year in, year out. It's an interesting one. Again, I don't really agree with the Buckies on this one. It could be worth a tenner. But mid-table then. 12th, Sunderland, 8-1. Tricky season for Sunderland last year. Started really well under Alex Neil. He left for Stoke. Obviously, they brought in the new manager. Didn't really do well. And obviously, he then got sacked, and obviously they had the interim manager towards the end of the season. Yeah, Sunderland's a weird one. Look, huge club. Arguably the biggest club in the Championship. Fantastic stadium. I think it is the biggest stadium in the Championship anyway. Definitely a top-flight team. But yeah, Sunderland, I don't think they'll go down. Obviously, Jack Clark's a fantastic player. As long as he's fit, Sunderland will be pushing for top half and potentially playoffs as well. Home from last season was surprisingly very poor for Sunderland. So fingers crossed they can get that back, because when Sunderland and the Stadium Light are rocking. You know, Sunderland are a hard team to play against, especially with how far they are away from everyone. 11th then, QPR, 13-2 to get relegated. Strange one. I thought QPR would be a lot lower. I thought they'd be, 6th, 7th, least likely to be relegated. Obviously, the manager, Martin, fantastic job for him last season. Again, similar to Sheffield Wednesday, really. We're in a very, very tricky situation. Foreign manager comes in, obviously Daniel Germany, Martin Spanish, and yeah, terrific job. We saw him against Swansea, very defensively sound. Steve Cook as well, experienced. They got Begovic in net. I do believe Begovic, I think he's left, I'm not sure, I think he has left, I'm not sure on that. But they have got a lot of experience on that side. Obviously have lost Chris Willock, who has gone to Cardiff City. But, Elias Chet's a great player, but obviously he is potentially going to prison. So, yeah, if they lose him, then it could be a tricky one. Again, 13-2, is it Suriname Martin will stay for the full season? Who knows? It's a weird one. In 10th then, Swansea City, 10th most likely to be relegated, 6-1. Now, it's a weird one with Swansea. Obviously, haven't really been, in and around the transfer business. Things are slowly but surely ticking. Time of recording, only one signing, which is Carlo Franco. EMG Sung will be announced, hopefully, by the time this is out. Bloody hell, I hope so, because it's been weeks now about my video in the archives. But yeah, Swansea, look, I don't think we're going to be pushing promotion. Probably more likely to be relegated than promoted. I think we're just becoming one of those teams now which just are mid-table, unfortunately. Obviously, haven't got any more parachute payments. I haven't got many more assets in terms of, big sell-on value. The only player we'll probably have at the moment who is worth around about £10 million is Captain Matt Grimes, and apart from that, we haven't really got many players who we could sell for a bigger value. But yeah, Luke Williams, tough job for him again this season. Swansea fans are a little bit impatient, including me at times. Look, we all want the best for our club, but I think we've just got to be realistic this season. Look, we've lost again key players, Nathan Wood, who is an outstanding centre back, which we saw at times. But yeah, I think I agree with this. Swansea, look, like I said, more likely to be relegated than promoted this season. 9th then, 9th most likely to be relegated, Blackburn Rovers. I think this is high for Blackburn. I think Blackburn should be a lot lower in terms of the odds to go down. I think they should be 4th or 5th to go down. I think Blackburn are in serious trouble this season. Now, we saw last season when John Eustace came in, had a couple of good results, but a couple of really bad results as well. I remember that comical own goal he scored against, I think it was Leeds. Oh, it was a shocking own goal that was, but I think it was Sunderland. It was one of the big teams, so they took like 7,000 fans. But yeah, Blackburn, again, not in great financial shape. Haven't got much money to spend this summer at all. Of course, I do have Sammy Smardux, who was outstanding last season. Absolutely brilliant season for him. I did not expect him to have had such a good season. I remember him at Peterborough. He was a decent player, but I never thought he'd be as good as he is now. So if they do keep Sammy Smardux, then, I don't think they'll go down. But if they do lose him, and then they could be in trouble. But like I said, they haven't got much money. They're missing goal scorers. Their backline centre-backs are quite old. They're trying to sign Liam Cooper as well, which would be a good signing. But again, they haven't got much youth into that team. Obviously, did lose Adam Morton in January as well. So yeah, Blackburn, 11-2. I think they're being very favourable to the Rovers here. 8th for them, Bristol City, 5-1 to get relegated. Now, Liam Manning, in his first full season at Bristol City, of course, did leave Oxford to join Bristol City, and his former club has also been promoted. So it'll be Liam Manning derby between Oxford and Bristol City. They do have some decent little players. Scott Twine hasn't really shown at Championship level, but at League 1 and League 2 level, he was absolutely outstanding for Newport. Very good, and also at MK Dons, which has probably been his best part of his career. But yeah, Bristol City, again, similar to Swansea, really, more likely to get relegated than promoted. Always in and around that mid-table mark. So, yeah, not much to say about Bristol City. I think they have signed a Japanese boy as well. He does look quite good. I really like the social media post just saying, I play for Bristol City, I will try my best. Love it. But yeah, Bristol City, 8th to get relegated. In 7th place, then we have Watford, 5-1. I remember Watford in the Premier League, getting great results against Liverpool, beating Arsenal a few times with Troy Deeney, and obviously the AFTV. Things like that. But yeah, Watford 5-1, very, very short odds for Watford to get relegated. 7th most likely to get relegated, nearly in the playoffs relegation. But yeah, I think it's just Tom Cleverley, I guess, the lack of experience there as a manager. Did do alright last season, a couple of draws. He loved a 2-2 draw, did Tom Cleverley. But yeah, I was impressed when he joined. But again, a first full season for him. Have signed Musa Sissoko as well. He has returned to the Hornets. Is 35 now. But yeah, Watford, I don't think they'll be anywhere near relegation, to be honest, but again, nowhere near promotion, I don't think. Sixth then, we're into the playoffs, the contenders for relegation. This is where the stakes are high. Sixth then, we've got Cardiff City, 9-2 to be relegated. Now, as much as I dislike Cardiff, I think this is I think it's harsh. Look, they've got Ramsey when he is fit. Very, very good player. They've signed Callum Chambers. I've seen some defence bantering. Obviously, it was a Montero and stuff like that. But look, Callum Chambers, 29 years old, so still has a couple of years to go until he retires. I think it's a good signing. Look, he's only ever played Premier League football. Did play in Europe last year with Aston Villa, a few games of the Conference League. Hasn't been. He probably hasn't had a full, proper season as a footballer in a number of years since he was at Arsenal. So, yeah, Cam Chambers, if he can be fit, will be very good. Obviously, did lose Phillips, who's gone back to Liverpool, but has brought in Chambers. I think Chris Willock is an outstanding signing. When I first saw the rumour of Chris Willock leaving QPR, put on Twitter, hope we sign him. And he's gone to Cardiff, just my luck. But yeah, I think Willock, if Cardiff can get the best out of him, he is one of the best attackers in the division. His trickery and pace. He scored a banging goal against Middlesbrough last season. I still worry about Cardiff in terms of their striker. I know Isaac Davis is coming back from Belgium, but again, very young player. Ruben Colwell, again, one of those players for Wales, hopefully can do very well, especially under Craig Bellamy now, but again, hasn't really shown it at Cardiff, under Errol Bullitt as well. Hasn't had a lot of games with Colwell. Plays one, drops two, starts two, gets dropped. Similar story with Swansea, with Russell Martin and a few players we had, especially Armstrong or Flex, always seem to do well. Had one game just now, played again. But yeah, Cardiff, like I said, be interesting. I think sixth place, though, I'd probably say Swansea more likely than Cardiff to go down, just because Cardiff have got a lot of good youngsters coming through. But yeah, be interesting to see how they do under Errol Bullitt. Fifth then, Preston North End, 9-2 to get relegated. Again, I can't see Preston going down. Always seem to be in around that mid-table. Never really flew to relegation. Obviously, Ryan Lowe was heavily criticised by Preston fans last season for his style of football. But with Emil Reece-Jacobson fully fit and hopefully have a full good season, I hope they'll do well. Have lost Alan Brown, which is a key player for them, has been at Preston for a number of years. He has gone to Sunderland. But yeah, I think Preston with Woodman in net, they have a decent defence as well. I think they'll be fine for relegation. Fourth then, another one of the League One clubs who have come up. Haven't spoken about a League One club since Portsmouth, who were 15th, likely to get relegated. Now we've got Derby in fourth. Now Derby have got a lot of championship experience in their ranks. Obviously, Sonny Bradley is a key player for them. Upton got promoted last season. They've got Corey Smith. They've just signed Ebo Adams from Cardiff. Jerry Yates has also joined the Rams on a season-long loan from my club, Swansea City. Now, if they can get the best out of Yates, he can score in around 10 goals. Did score, a couple of goals for us last season in around that 10 mark, even though he wasn't really a key player. But yeah, Derby, Paul Warren, experienced coach again, hasn't really ever lived the heights of the Championship. Always seems to get relegated from the Championship, but does really well in League One. But yeah, it's great to see Derby back in the Championship after their financial problems. And yeah, I can see Derby potentially going down this season, so I agree with the Buckies. Now, the top three, the three most likely teams that go into the Buckies to get relegated. We've still got Oxford, Plymouth and Millwall. In third, they've gone for Millwall. Millwall to avoid the top two. Millwall to not be promoted from the Championship relegation battle. Yeah, Millwall in third then, 9-2. Obviously a very tricky season for them last season. Neil Harris came in, did a remarkable job. Similar to Sheffield United, really, where, they've got a man in charge who loves the club. Sheffield United, Chris Wilder, loves the club. Millwall, Neil Harris, loves the club. Former player as well. And did a tremendous job last season. Obviously, the sad loss of Sarkis, the goalkeeper, a very, very sad loss for them. His last game in football, saves a penalty, man of the match. Brilliant. But unfortunately, he has passed away. So, again, it's a big loss for them. Not just in terms of, the family, but in terms of just a great goalkeeper as well. Zian Fleming didn't have a really good season last season, but again, on his day, he's fantastic. They have some Macaulay Longstaff from Notts County, who has done tremendous at the lower levels of league football, or the EFL thing, did really well in non-league as well. So it's a big step up for him to see if he can succeed. Obafemi last season at Millwall didn't really, live the heights of what he did at Swansea, so obviously they have replaced him. It looks like potentially Welsh international Tom Bradshaw may be leaving the club, but Tanganga's joined. Third for Millwall just seems ridiculous to me. They've got brilliant players, and with Harris, they'll always be a very, very good team at home. Away from home, question marks, but at home, with Neil Harris in charge, I can't see Millwall being third favourite to go down. Top two, second most likely, and the runners-up to be relegated then from the Championship this season are Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle. How many times are we going to hear that this season? Wayne Rooney's Plymouth, or Wayne Rooney's Derby, Wayne Rooney's Birmingham. Always happens with Sky, but I'm going to be respectful. Plymouth Argyle, they're a football team. They are coached by Wayne Rooney, professional footballer, brilliant player in his day, but it is Plymouth Argyle. They are still a good club. Now, they are 9-4 to be relegated. Now, Plymouth last season, very, very lucky to stayed up the final day. Had a good first half of the season. Obviously, Stephen Schumacher left for Stoke, brought in a replacement who got sacked as well, so it didn't really last long, that manager. But yeah, Plymouth, obviously Morgan Whittaker is their key player. If he does stay and can stay fit, will be a bagsman as well, one of the top scorers last season. Obviously, Wayne Rooney has not had the best managerial record. I think everyone will know that by now. You know, did it okay at Derby in the circumstances they were in, but at Birmingham, let's be honest, got them relegated because he was just awful when he Wayne Rooney at Birmingham because they were doing so well until he came in. But yeah, Plymouth probably are favourites to go down. Be interested to see what they do in the transfer business. But yeah, Plymouth second favourites to go down. And now the top of the relegation candidates, the most likely to be relegated from the Championship this season, are Championship new boys Oxford United, with odds of as short as 3-2 to go down. So probably not even worth putting a 10 on because you're not even going to make much back. Now, Oxford have lost Josh Murphy. He has gone to Portsmouth. Very, very shocked at that, to be honest. He was out of contract, but did score 2 goals in that playoff final against Bolton Wanderers to get them up, and he has left them to join another fellow League One side who have come up with Oxford Portsmouth. They have signed some championship experience. Will Vokes has joined Oxford United. They have got Mark Harris as well. So they've got a few ex-Cardiff players at Oxford. So it might be a little bit frosty when we visit Oxford this season. Probably lose because we never be Oxford at United at their ground. But yeah, Oxford, look, they'll be hard to beat, especially at home. Their fans will be very, very up for it indeed. But like I said, you can see why they're favourites. But often the team who are favourites to go down never really go down or never really go bottom. Obviously, last season, Rotherham, I don't even think they were favourites to go down. I think they were like 3rd or 4th favourites to go down, and they had a awful season. But I don't think Oxford will be as bad as Rotherham, because when we see a new boy get promoted, they're up for it. They'll fight for everything. We saw that with Luton last season, some of the shocks they had in the Premier League. So I think Oxford may go down, but I can't see them finishing rock bottom. I can see them pulling off a few shocks. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. These are the latest Championship relegation odds. So, least favourites to go down then, Leeds 6-1, Burnley 33-1, Middlesbrough and Luton 25-1. And then the 3 favourites to go down this season then, you've got Cardiff, Preston, Derby, Millwall, all joined on 9-2 to go down. Plymouth Argyle 9-4, and then the favourites to go down at Oxford United 3-2. Let me know your predictions down below. I'm not going to reveal any of mine yet because I want you guys to stay keen for my Championship predictions. Someone said to me, out of 40 YouTubers who did Championship table predictions, I came second in terms of like the most points. So maybe I do have a bit of ball knowledge. We'll forget about Ipswich mid-table. We'll forget about that. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you are going to put a bet on, let me know who you're going to put to go down. There will be a promotion one out in a few days' time as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. I need one more chance. Oh, baby. Let me show you. I need one more chance. Oh.